Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today in Europe. I'm Lizzie Burden alongside Stephen Carroll, and we're joined by Bloomberg's breaking news editor, Louise Moon. Louise, what should we be watching?
So firstly, one of the key ones we're watching this morning is Coca-Cola HBC. So this is a London-listed company. It's one of the world's largest bottlers for Coca-Cola, the US giant. So they have announced this morning they're buying a controlling stake in another bottler. So this is Coca-Cola Beverages Africa. That's for $2.6 billion US. They're buying a 75% stake. And then there's the option, if they want to, they can buy the remaining stake, the remaining 25% within 6 years. And they're buying that from the US giant Coca-Cola and another holder as well. So big deal within that space. It comes for Coke, the giant, the US giant. It's part of their move away from the business of bottling. So they already sold their Indian operations earlier this year. This is all kind of part of their attempts they're trying to overcome waning demand. So there's less and less investment in bottling and really focusing on their core. And then for the bottlers, this combination will create the second largest bottling partner for Coke by volume globally. So it's going to create a huge company. Although, having said all of that, Coca-Cola HBC, the London-listed buyer, their shares did fall at open. They have paired some losses now, but initially fell over 4% at open, essentially because it seems to be because analysts are noting that they're cancelling their share buybacks. So this is kind of a nod that they're focusing on expansion over capital returns. And that option to buy that additional 25% might kind of limit the capacity on their balance sheet even further. So a slightly negative share price reaction to this big $2.6 billion US deal.
Okay, so that's Coca-Cola HBC. Let's go to Unilever now. Ice creams getting hit by the US government shutdown.
Indeed, a bit of an interesting ripple effect from the US government shutdown. So Unilever are pushing back the demerger of their ice cream unit. That's the Magnum Ice Cream company. It had been on track to complete in mid-November. I think it was about November 10th. And then they were going to have a primary listing in the Netherlands and secondary listings in London and in New York. But because of this government shutdown, the registration statement that it needs to be admitted in New York on the New York Stock Exchange, that can't be declared as effective. So it's pushing back that demerger. They said that they're confident that the split will still happen this year, but timings are very much TBC. They're very much kind of up in the air, and it extends this long wait for Unilever. Their first announced plans to separate the unit in March 2024 last year. It's been long underperforming, so getting rid of it or spinning it off is a large part of Unilever's revamp to revive their growth. So shares slightly dipped on the news, but as I say, they are still confident that it will happen.
Just finally, Louise, Atos slumping after its third quarter revenue missed estimates.
Indeed, yeah, Atos, the French IT company. So shares were down initially about 17%. So as you say, third quarter revenue missed estimates. They lowered their revenue guidance for the year. They did in some positives. They pointed at some recovery in North America and Europe, but essentially they noted macro uncertainty, a soft market environment, loss-making contracts as some of the negatives that are pulling it down, pulling those revenues. They're in the middle of a restructuring, so analysts are saying 2025 they expect declines to continue, and then 2026 will be their pivotal year of recovery.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.